Hello from Final Four Sunday here in the men's event at FIVB Beach Volleyball SWATCH World Tour's grand event here in Klagenfurt, Austria. This is the A1 Grand Slam presented by Volksbank. So the stunning surroundings of Klagenfurt am Wörthersee. Klagenfurt on the lake, and the host of a men's semi-final yet again. It's the 15th year that we're here. USA versus Brazil, the classic rivalry in beach volleyball, and that to be played out again in front of these thousands of fans that have been queuing since the crack of dawn to get into this stadium. Well, this man needs no introduction. He's back here for the 14th time out of 15 tournaments. Not a bad effort from Ricardo Santos. He's here in a new guise, though, with his new partner, Pedro. And we're about to see, perhaps, the birth of a new rivalry here on the SWATCH World Tour. We all know about Phil-Dalhausser and Todd Rogers, plus Ricardo and Pedro individually as players. However, under these sunny skies, with 25 degrees in the sunshine beating down on the court, Ricardo and Pedro only in their second event together as a team and have already reached their first semi-final. More about all of that in a minute. For now, though, we will meet our officiating team. It is Julien Bruxelles of France who's our referee. And at the opposite end, on the referee number 2 spot, we have our man from Algeria. It is bonjour, very good morning, to Robert Bronisz, in fact, from Poland. So there's the men who will officiate this match. Phil-Dalhausser and Todd Rogers, though. Winners of a Grand Slam for the first time this season last week. There's only one Grand Slam left. This is it. We're into the Final Four. Ricardo and Pedro, many eyebrows raised when Ricardo chose Pedro Cunha to play as his new partner, following the, for the moment, temporary suspension of Pedro Salgado. Of course, Ricardo splitting up with Marcio Araujo, who's now on to play with Benjamin. Ricardo wears number 2 in this partnership, of course, one of the top blockers in the game. Now 36, says he wants to continue all the way to Rio 2016. He'll be into his 40s then, but he maintains he has had no real injuries throughout his career. And whilst he keeps on winning, then why stop? Really won a gold medal in the Grand Slam this year. That was in Stavanger. And playing with Marcio. And he was in the Final Four with the same partner last year. Had some real jewels, in particular in semi-finals last year against Todd Rogers and Phil-Dalhausser. This is a team that have won here 3 times. Todd the Professor Rogers, 37, 1m88. And has plenty of supporters in this stadium. Great initiative by the local sponsors. 2 sets of flags, choose your country, and you can have your colours. So there's plenty of Star-Spangled Banners and plenty of Brazilian yellow, blue and green flags too. Phil-Dalhausser was born just over the border in Switzerland. He is, of course, an All-American though, 31 years of age. And, of course, nobody can match him on his day in the block at this present moment. Crowd are all in, just about as packed as you can get in here. We've been treated to an exhibition of Austria versus Kerry Walsh this morning. All good fun. Really got the crowd noisy as ever and ready for the serious action which is about to begin. Brazil won the coin toss here. They'll receive on the right-hand side of your screen there in yellow. The United States with Rogers in blue. Side out straight away. Nice work from Pedro Cunha. No surprise to see him have the service thrust onto it. Been a player that has been up and down throughout his career. Now 28 years of age is Pedro. He's had numerous injuries down the years. He's looked good both last week and this with his new partner. Rogers looking for the line into the block of Ricardo. Squeezing it past though, 1-1. And the US side out just as easily as well. Off the outer hand of Ricardo. Not quite getting across the block off the entire line. To be Dalhausser on serve. Probably the most dangerous server on the court today. Ricardo has work to do as we see the venom from Big Phil straight away. That's called out. And it is that serve really that's put the Brazilians under pressure. United States win their first point off serve. It's hit very, very hard into Pedro, who couldn't really control it. That's the reason they were forced into that corner. Dalhausser again. Just about over the net. Ricardo's there. His touch can't let Pedro chase, and well, he has these runs. You can see 85.4 kilometers per hour. It's not by any means the fastest of the season. That's still well over the 100 mark. Back in Brasilia, in fact, I'm informed. Well, first good run off serve for Dalhausser. 2 points on the spin before the net serve that you occasionally get from him. Brings Ricardo to the line. Expect him to just float it into the corner. Quite happy up against top Rogers. But Rogers finds the space. US siding out straight away to keep that 2-point lead. So played 7, lost 5 so far. Good in terms of their 5th place last week, though, in Poland in a Grand Slam. Guaranteed 4th here, so they can't complain about that. Still getting to know each other as a team, though. As Pedro hits on the angle. Brazil won't be too disappointed there. Once Phil went on that little run, I'm sure hearts must have been beating a little faster. He didn't want a disaster start against the reigning Olympic champions. Pedro will be to serve, just drops it in front of Todd Rogers, gets him in that corner, or the attempt to do so, but it's decent setting by Dalhausser, just brings him away. Rogers is able to find plenty of space. Still wanting him to get in that corner, but wanting him to try and force the roll beyond Ricardo. I'm fairly confident in the big Brazilian's ability to block off that line for Todd Rogers. Cunha takes down. Oh, good play. Unlucky, very unlucky. First evidence of the Dalhausser presence of the net. Not too far away, got his first touch. Down on the second, unable to make the pass. You can see it's very warm weather already this early in the morning, just after 10 a.m. local time. And, treated with wonderful weather again this week in Austria. Dalhausser. Good defensive play by Pedro Cunha. Bumped up now. Can he finish it off? He can. Brazil a level. Good run this. Ricardo with a point off his serve. Hammered home by his new partner Pedro Cunha. Pedro, by the way, had never previously been to a semi-final in Klagenfurt. His best 9th place finishes with Thiago last year and the veteran Franco Neto in 2006. Rogers poking long, well, right on the line, almost too long from up here. It looked as though it might have been a centimetre over. Brazil not complaining though. Pedro checking out the ball more. Just taking enough of the line, obviously. Let's have another look for ourselves. There it is, right on the line. Julien Bruxelles was happy enough with it. (6-5), it's floated down the line. Quite deep in towards Pedro Cunha. Rolls nicely across the net though. Very high bump. Loads of time to Pedro Cunha to decide what he was going to do. Born and bred in Rio de Janeiro. And coming up with an ace. Well, for the first time, Brazil edging ahead here. Very, very nicely played down the centre. This team, fourth seeded for this event, thanks to certainly Ricardo's points. Silver medalists, remember, at the World Championship with Marcio this year. The only reason they disbanded is they didn't get on particularly well. Different philosophies on how to approach the sport, how to train, where to train, both living in different cities. Ricardo actively looking to form a new partnership before the Olympics, of course. London is a big aim for him. He's already got a medal of each and every colour from the Olympics. Silver in Sydney, gold in Athens, bronze in Beijing. Gold medalists in Beijing, fire the net serve in. Means that Ricardo will be brought back to the line. Just float it over into Todd Rogers. Well then, has that taken a touch? Well, yes, it's just about in the end. Not sure there's a touch on the block. No, straight off the net, but landing on the line. That's the reason Pedro wasn't going to make any extra special effort to try and get there. On the ground, just watching it. There is Pedro taking down. High hand set this time from Ricardo. Not often you see that, but that is something that isn't certainly a collector's item. It's yet another block from Dalhausser, the first though in this match. And the United States take their point off serve to go ahead. USA, remember, taking gold in the women's tournament yesterday with Misty May and Kerry Walsh. Rogers, oh, that's disappointing. Certainly not for these boys. Brazil get away with that somewhat. Rogers shakes the head. Cunha it will be. Big fill with a hand set. Cunha's there. Ricardo, chance for a counter-attack now. Dalhausser. They'll try again. This time it's Rogers in the way. Needs another good touch. Top rally this with Ricardo looking to finish. Dalhausser there. Absolutely magnificent stuff through this rally. Now the handset again for Ricardo. There's the roll. It's on the line. And a classy way to finish an extremely competitive piece of beach volleyball. He doesn't always smile, Ricardo, outwardly. He's a bit of a timid man for a big man. But once he's out there on the court, he loves to get the crowd involved. Brilliant stuff by Dalhausser in the block. Both teams really going at it here. There's the reverse pass made by Big Phil. And watch the one he has to make here, all the way around. Make sure it stays in his own half. Rogers passing again. And this time, the Brazilians able to find the finish. 10-9 Brazil there. This match seesawing nicely. Dalhausser on the roll and beating both Brazilian players. All ends up. Listen to the crowd, they're getting into this. So the Austrian players have been knocked out. All paraded in front of the Austrian crowd as a thanks for their efforts this week, although another year will go by without an Austrian medal here on the home sand. Austrian lack of success is a disappointment. That roll shot from Ricardo was anything but that. They go to the technical timeout, well and truly in the game. If you remember how long it took Ricardo to get going in his new partnership with Marcio, where they really had to fight in country quota, and of course get through qualifiers as well, really struggled for half a season or so without reappearing. Suddenly it clicked for them. But if they started this strong with his new partner Pedro Cunha, and if they could stay together and perhaps more concisely Pedro could stay clear of any injuries, knee problems are plenty throughout his career so far, it could be looking very good. Might be seeing this battle week after week after week on the Swatch Tour, certainly next year. We still have something to offer you this year though. Orland in a couple of weeks' time has returned to open play, and the final double gender of the event will come in The Hague at the end of August. That's before two events, a male-only event in Agadir in October, and then the now traditional season-ending event with the women playing in Thailand in Phuket. The trumpet sound the charge for Ricardo. He'll resume service here after technical time up. Brazil 11-10 up. Rogers, nice cut shot. Well, we talked about the Brazilians' match mark. 56-1, 13 loss this year for Rogers and Dalhausser. Not quite as dominant as last year when they produced the best ever season of the male team. There's 9 titles, a record. They won the FIVB Tour for the first time, in fact. Dalhausser rising high, building the blocks and making sure they couldn't be puffed down. No way through. So United States edging ahead. Good serve from Rogers. Cunha up there. Set from Ricardo, making sure that Cunha had to arch back slightly, perhaps scare the advantage there to Dalhausser at the block, who makes yet another. Brazil taking time out. They know, especially having played countless times against these Olympic champions, they're very capable of putting a run together, 2 or 3 points, and in 2 or 3 minutes destroying your challenge. They have the first real advantage of this match anyway. Just 2 points in it. That is all you need once you get to 21. First meeting also between these two teams, as those supporters lucky enough to see it, enjoying themselves already. Rogers and Phil Dalhausser, winners here last year. Ricardo came 4th with Marcio Araujo. So there's 3 American points off the spin of the technical timeout. Just caused Brazil to call timeout themselves, have another sit down, think about things, and see what the result of that is. Rogers again continues serving in a Pedro Cunha. He rises, hits hard on the angle. Net touch. Well, Todd Rogers absolutely furious there. First of all, he thought it was him that was being pulled up. There's nothing wrong with the defence. The call was that Phil Dalhausser touched the net. Disappointment though, Pedro Cunha failing to build on it. States will get their 2-point lead back. Well, an angry Phil Dalhausser now, not necessarily a good thing for the opposition. He showed early on in this set that his serve up to the mark this morning. It's a very good serve again, but Pedro Cunha's done well to dig it out. Got a pass here. Rogers now Up against Ricardo, goes long, no touch, and the point will go to the United States. No, the Brazilian, sorry. Running out. Confirmation of that was no touch from the referee. A quick look across at his second ref. The line judges too. Nothing to indicate that there's anything untoward in the Brazilian presence. Ricardo, jump serving for once. Taken down. Chance now for Pedro Cunha to put this away, and does so with real class. Brazil digging themselves out of a little hole in the back level at 14 apiece. Well, a few twists and turns at this first set. Not too many of drastic 90-degree proportions. Brazilians going off course a couple of times, but always managing to get themselves back. Ricardo in towards Todd Rogers. Up high for him. Oh, nicely down. Pedro Cunha doing brilliantly. Chance to put it away. The set wasn't great. It's made it a little difficult for him. The angle hard as well. Of course, he had Dalhausser on that side. Really had to go on the angle. And that was the result. 10 centimeters over the line. Bump high by Ricardo, his normal favoured method of setting. Cunha hitting the line again. He's reacted well when put under pressure today. Well, the United States is Pedro Cunha. The service almost exclusively going his way. Floated in towards Todd Rogers. High set. Call of line, that's exactly where Todd Rogers went. Ricardo beaten. Yet really to make any blocks, Ricardo, in this match. Of course, they had not a difficult, but a long and fairly arduous quarter-final against the Czech Republic experienced team of Kubala and Benes yesterday, Brazil. You always felt that Ricardo and Pedro Cunha were going to win. Just took 3 sets to do it and went around the house's way of steering through the semis. Earlier in the day, though, they had produced the greatest win of their short career together, beating Ricardo's former partner, Emmanuel. His new partner, Allison, the world champions, 21-12, 21-18 in 38 minutes. That's pretty impressive. Dalhausser hits long. Oh, that's a big error from Big Phil. What a time to edge in front here. One more point off serve, and they'll have that magic lead. Brazilian flags waving in the crowd. Here's Ricardo, jump serving again. Bit of power in towards Todd Rogers. Well, cry of leave it, leave it, leave it. Don't get anywhere near that one because it's going out. And there is the point that could give Brazil this first set. If the United States slide out here, as long as they don't concede off the state serve, Brazil already have the advantage. Blocking line to Todd Rogers, cross court to Phil Dalhausser is the call. Will be the line block. Just about on the line. Squeezes it through to Todd Rogers, and the United States really needed that. Had they not made that, it definitely would have been the set for the Brazilians. Nice placement, though, for the professor. Calculated all of his angles well. Rogers in towards Pedro Cunha now. It's cross court on the angle. Good save, though. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Communication. What on earth has happened there? And what a way for Brazil to give up that lead. All thanks in part, firstly, to that wonderful bit of diving, digging there from Todd Rogers. And here, oh, let's have a shout. Somebody please call. 18 points apiece. Nicely poised here at the end of the set. Brazil siding out to go one ahead. Well, it will come, of course, in a new partnership. Not exactly used to playing together pairing that never even trained together, never mind played competitively. Pedro Cunha. Here's Dalhausser, putting it away nicely for the kill. 19-all now. And any sort of even half a mistake is going to be punished with a loss of the set here. Brazil can side out, they'll have the first set point chance. And Brazil winning 5 of 6 Grand Slam and World Championship medals on offer this year. They're the gold ones, of course. Phil Dalhausser at least make them play. So Ricardo has been jump serving, something we haven't seen for a while, with any power anyway. He's done his partnership with Marcel Araujo. Is now serving for the set. Ball toss high, just drops it in front of Todd Rogers. Got him right in the corner where he wants him. It's gone long, surely. That is the point, and the set to Brazil. Wonderful play, and they've really deserved that for working so hard together. And this new team is showing form that could really develop them into a classic of the beach volleyball circuit. The first of what could be many duels against Rogers and Dalhausser in semi-finals and final fours around the world, and the first set of which has gone their way. We'll get the world there eventually. It's the Samba boys, not the Samba girls. 21-19, Cunha-Ricardo. On paper at least, causing a bit of an upset early doors here. Rogers-Dalhausser just about getting the form in the last couple of weeks. Stunningly good in Poland last week. Or set down in the semi, with work to do to get back into it if they're to make yet another gold medal match. Up and under a lot of pressure in that first set, Pedro Cunha. Service directed towards him on most occasions. He does have 3 wins himself on the World Tour. Ricardo, by the way, looking for his 51st. Rogers and Dalhausser, 21 together as a team. Todd Rogers picked up once more earlier on in his career. Three of those wins coming here. They won the last 2 consecutive tournaments in Klagenfurt, Rogers and Dalhausser. Didn't play in 08 with the Olympics. 17th, their worst ever performance in 2007. In their first year together in 2006. Did win here. It is an important tournament, certainly, for the Americans. Brazilians looking for medal number 160 of the gold variety in men's events historically. Set 2 underway with Cunha in towards Rogers. Good touch, chance for a counter-attack already. Oh, nicely placed home. Good stop, Brazil. The Samba beat goes on. All credit to Cunha there. Ricardo did his bit down, digging, making the pass. One 0. Cunha bringing out the power. Oh, Ricardo wonderfully down. Chance for him to kill it now. There he is. But over into Dalhausser. That's an opportunity missed from Ricardo. Really is. Deary me. He created it himself, but perhaps he's allowed to miss it. Rogers to reply. Dalhausser to finish with a kill. 1-1. Of course, it was close throughout the first set here. Don't be surprised if it goes to 3 sets, I tell you. Bump high to Pedro Cunha. Oh, big miss. Cry of disappointment for him. Can you pick up on the effects microphone there? Well, Rogers and Dalhausser have got here. They've not been unbeaten this week. Neither of these teams have, in fact. Rogers Dalhausser losing in Paul Bray to Fieldbringer and Lucena in the United States Derby. Fairly comprehensively as well. Straight sets 21-19, 21-12 in fact. 40 minutes, but they won every other match in straight sets, beating Denmark, Brazilian team of Arley and Thiago, Gibbon Rosie of the United States, Marcio and Benjamin, and Skanlund and Spinonga of Norway. There's Ricardo run through. Now the Brazilians got to this stage in just a moment. There is Ricardo diving down. Probably just about had to make it, in fairness. Didn't make it, though. The Brazilians, after losing the first 2 matches in pool play against Boersman Spikers of the Netherlands and Plavins and Smedens of Latvia, had a must-win match against Russia, Koshkarev and Semenov. Just about got through that, then beat Doppler Melitzer, then beat Alison Emanuel, before a 3-set win over Benes and Kubal of the Czech Republic. It's been up and down from them this week. Played well when it mattered, though, as Rogers fails to make the save. Would have been a good effort from the United States to keep that one alive. Here's Ricardo going for the corner. There was that push wide off the block of Dalhausser that got it. This is the 3rd touch already. Remember, it has to go over. It didn't. 3-3. Pedro Cunha serve. Rogers up towards the net, and you could always see that Ricardo was the big favourite there. First block he's made in the entire match of any significance. But it was the bump set up high towards the net that drifted a little close to Ricardo. He was allowed to set himself nicely. No chance really for Todd Rogers. The crowd celebrating it just as enthusiastically as the players. That's a nice hit. Hard on the angle. Rogers has a lovely variation of precision and power. Cut and roll shot. Nobody can get near him really in the game with those, but can hit hard. There's Ricardo. There, though, is Phil Dalhausser. Well, despite the United States losing the first set, he's made those blocks fairly consistently. Oh, 2 from 2. This time it's a very big one. It brings up a 2-point advantage. Rising high, beats none other than Ricardo. He owns that block. Ricardo. And that's the response he wanted. Nice big swing through the ball. So Brazil needing a point off their serve to get level. They got the last one here in 2007 with Emanuel. In 2004 with the same partner. As that one gets the better of Pedro Cunha. Also won with his former partner Jose Loyola in 2002. Second here, the world champs in 2001 with the same partner. It was won by Argentina 10 years ago. Dalhausser a serve, a wonderful serve it is too. Cunha might get there though, he does. Ricardo makes it. Not too much time bought. Ricardo. Cunha. Chance here for the counter-attack. This would be wonderful if they could win it, they do. Well, what a way to get one back. Every right to stand there and enjoy it. It's beach time. Well, that is just the end of it. The best came before. Many a meter made up by Pedro Cunha to get there in the backcourt. Not quite crunch time yet. Entertaining though, the play onwards. Todd Rogers just restores a sense of calm and normality about proceedings for the United States. We're still ahead, boys, is the message across the net. 8-6. Brazil, they have the set in the bag, so the pressure is firmly on the United States to win this set. Maybe another semi-final coming up a little later on. We'll be on here from 11:15 local time. That's in around 40 minutes' time. It'll be Brazil versus Germany. João Maciel against and Bruno Oscar Schmidt. And it's Julius Brink and Jonas Reckerman. As Brazil side out. Ricardo, the hero here. 14 occasions he's played out of the 15 tournaments. Gets the better of Todd Rogers up against Dalhausser now, and it's his huge reach of a block that drags Brazil level. 8 points apiece. And that one does deserve a celebration with a blocking song here in Klagenfurt. The crowd have got the moves to go with it. Service goes cross-court, puts Dalhausser right up in the corner, who is very lucky to squeeze that one through. Ricardo served well today, served very tough, but the United States in plenty of difficult positions. Dalhausser just about got out of that one with the head of the net. Ricardo controls nicely. How does the United States change the tactics slightly? Realise that Pedro Cunha has been signing out more than well. Chanting Ricardo's name as he's going to be put up in the block against Todd Rogers. Gets the better of him. The United States bring it out to the centre though. And Pedro Cunha can only catch the ball. Wedged into his body, it was in that hot. Nice play. Lovely hot to the back and take that. Well done, Phil Dalhausser. Ricardo down. Cunha. It's in and off the block, and it's a point won by Brazil. They're looking good and strong here. Unfortunately, didn't catch the match against Alison and Emmanuel. Well, can't say it was pretty special. Just need to put to bed that little bit of inconsistency, but remember, it is early doors, only the second tournament together. The reason they started midway through the season was to prepare a year before London. Oh, blocking again. Ricardo wheels off in celebration. The DJ's been busy overnight as well. Changing lyrics to a couple of famous songs to suit Ricardo. He is a fan's favourite. He only showed exactly why again, reaching across nicely. Well, nobody moving from their seat. 11-10 technical timeout. Brazil a set up and a point up here in set 2. And this is that wonderful point again. Ricardo just about getting there. Pedro Cunha doing many a mile to get there. Let's put up once more. Wonderful piece of digging just about when he's got his breath back. And have that for a finish. Pedro Cunha, the real star of the show there. Crowd taking their turn to become protagonists. Some of them even going for the retro look. Ricardo to serve that. Rogers, Dalhausser, nicely played. The United States siding out brilliantly. Ricardo out of his screen, porting himself, wanting to do better there. Dalhausser siding out nicely though. Good leave. Many times you see those hit the floor. A lot of people choosing to leave them. Dalhausser has a pretty strong well-working radar normally. King of the Ace on tour. It's just dropped in front, exactly where Ricardo wants Todd Rogers. But Rogers responds with absolute accuracy. Takes us to 12-12. That score now, should these side-outs continue, will inch towards 21. And again, rather like the first set, anybody who makes the slightest mistake will see the set crumble away from them. Pedro Cunha, serve back towards him. Sides out again nicely. On good form this morning. And he's got more names than you care to mention. Pedro Enrique de Miranda da Araújo da Cunha. 28 years of age from Rio. 11th season for him, by the way. He's played 83 tournaments, but dwarfed compared to those played by his partner. 173rd SWATCH FIVB tournament for Ricardo. Buildup-Hauser's not got a bad number either. 52nd for him. Hammers home. Of course, until this year, the Americans having the pressure of combining their domestic tour with the world tour. Ooh, nicely taken down. Cunha will rise. Called out, and that is a big mistake by Pedro Cunha. Credit really to Buildup-Hauser for blocking off that line well. Just as Brazil had the slight advantage earlier on in this set, the USA, should they grab a point here off their own serve, will go 2 points up. Brazil need a side out here. Dalhausser, it's in. There's that ace we were talking about. Right on the line. You leave some, you'll get some, and you lose some. That goes in the second column. Right down the middle with pinpoint accuracy. You can see the line moving. 15-13 then. Requested side out from Brazil, not forthcoming. Advantage USA in the second set. Dalhausser this time going long. You're not panicking into playing that, Brazil. Important that you keep your cool once you've conceded an ace. Here's Pedro Cunha. Will jump serve. Straight down the middle. Rogers takes the heat out of it. Not a great set, and it's easy enough for Ricardo to hang high, put the roof over the ball. Brazil are 15 apiece. Wasn't needed in the first set to really produce too much in the way of blocking Ricardo. Certainly come to four in the second. Matching Buildup-Hauser very well indeed. Up against Rogers once more, gets his touch. Pedro Cunha though, not at all well placed to chase it down. It's worth remembering that Brazil went all of 2009 and 2010 without winning a gold medal in a Grand Slam or World Championship. This year they've bossed at those big events. And Pedro Cunha and Ricardo threatening to boss this semi-final. They could well do it in 2 sets. Rogers and Dalhausser have not had it easy this morning. Not playing a bad game themselves. They're up against a team though. They could threaten to become one of the main teams in the world. Here is Rogers. Pedro Cunha's down. He's taking it up nice and quickly. Dalhausser will try again. This time he'll get it right. And the United States siding out for just a point of a lead. Nice dig. Two-handed two. Confusion once more. Pass by Ricardo. Pedro Cunha's chance is missed. And what a poor time to miss it. What a very poor time to miss it. Rogers wanting a bit more communication with his partner, but they have that 2-point lead now. And of course, if they're able to hold on and side out now through to 21, even better add to their advantage, they'll be going to a third set. Cunha-Ricardo. Cunha again, gets his poke on. Net touch. Dalhausser getting in the way. 17-18 then. States will know that if they can get their heads clear again here and side out, they will retain the advantage. Brazil, though, in a very similar situation to the first set here. Just about dragged themselves level before putting themselves ahead. And they do the same now. It's Cunha to serve. Dalhausser, picture of concentration as he looks on. Oh, it's a very good serve, and it happens again. Well, well, well. 18 points apiece. Pedro Cunha with a top serve to put the USA into difficulty. That 2-point advantage has been swallowed up for them. It is again anybody's set here. Brazil looking and feeling good, I imagine. Much more decent serve. Rogers is up, so is Ricardo. Second time of asking, though, it's put away by the Americans. So important they got that. Ricardo just not able to set himself at time. Would he made the first block? Rogers into Cunha. He's to rise and get it right here, and does. The USA had them more or less where they wanted them. They're right in the corner up against Dalhausser. Certainly couldn't go line against him. Had they gone the angle, but Rogers was beaten. Both sides, by the way, with a timeout in hand here in this second set. So should anything go against anybody here, expect a timeout to come. Dalhausser, Rogers. Ooh, well, Cunha was there. Unable to get the second touch. Ricardo, and it is set point to the USA. It's one that they really need to win. 21-19 in the first set in favor of Brazil. The States can pick up this point. They'll be right back level. They've got their main man serving on the ball. Dalhausser, venomous hit. Straight into the net, though. Well, a real letdown for any of you United States fans watching on at home. Cunha to go. Produces something very similar indeed. Both poor. And it concedes that set point again to the USA. Remember, a 2-point game from here. We're past 21, so whichever side can get themselves 2 points ahead wins the set. Cunha. Oh, right on the line. Right on the line. It had to be measured perfectly. And under the enormous amount of pressure, with thousands of people watching on here, gasping as that ball drifted into the corner. The USA as well disappointed. I thought it might have just crept out. 21 each then. They switch sides. United States on the right. Ricardo will serve on the left. For Brazil in yellow, remember. They had the first set. It's out is the call. Yeah, that cry a country mile off after Todd Rogers asked for a bit better communication a moment ago. Dalhausser screaming at him. Set point number 3 then. Dalhausser, long, and it wasn't by far. Didn't look for live, let's have a look ourselves. Well, 10-15 centimeters. Was traveling as well. This time, Brazil concentrate on getting it in. Rogers off the net, and well, looked as though it might have crept wide. It didn't, and the USA will have a 4th opportunity now to close the set and take them to 3. Could have a huge effect on the momentum here. States can win this. They might fancy themselves to continue it into set 3. Ricardo doesn't even think about going in 2. Sets up Cunha, who cuts with the outside of the hand again to save that set point. Well, they're dealing well with the pressure here. Of course, they're two very experienced players in their own right. Ricardo has won just about everything there is to win in the game. But as a team, of course, it's all fairly new. Ricardo going cross-court in towards Rogers. States keep going in the centre. Ricardo with the block. And again, this time the momentum swings. And now we'll have a match point. Todd Rogers denied by Ricardo, who is now going to serve for the match at a place in the first final as a team together. Ricardo hasn't played the final here since 2007, remember. First cross-court mix-up. Up against Dalhausser, who had a lot of work to rectify that, but did it absolutely sublimely. Well, the tension is building here. So Brazil could side up for another match point now. The United States need more than that. They need a couple on the spin to produce another set point. Pedro nicely done on the angle. So we had a period of the United States just about bossing it, putting the pressure on their opponents. Now Brazil siding out to bring up match point number 2. 25-24. Crowd loving this, absolutely loving it. Sure, there's more Brazilian fans there than when we started this match. Confidence has grown as Pedro Cunha floats it in towards the path of Todd Rogers. Ricardo's there, not there or close enough though. Cunha moving to the left as Ricardo blocked cross court. Occupy himself with the line. Todd Rogers though, saw a bit of space. I like what he saw, 25 each. Cunha takes down. One pop by Ricardo, it's fairly well behind the net. But he still manages to hit with nice force. Will it be third time lucky here for Brazil? They edged out the first set by the finest of fine margins, 21-19, right at the death with a big block from Ricardo. It is match point for the third time. Rogers up against Ricardo now. This is the chance for the counter-attack. Rogers says no, Dalhausser, and somehow they get themselves level again. Blow by blow here. Ricardo's second touch there to set up put Cunha. It was just a bit low. He had to pass the ball over the net in the end. Couldn't attack it with anything else. 26 all. 4 set points have gone by. 3 match points have gone begging. Cunha, this is a chance for the United States to open up another set point chance. A wonderful piece of serving from Phil Dalhausser. Now, will that be enough? 27-26. They let 4 set point chances go begging just a couple of moments ago. What can they do with their 5th? Another serve like that, it could be over quickly. It is a very good serve, but look at that for a piece of defending from Pedro Cunha, who hammers down and responds in emphatic fashion. Well, we're seeing some of the top beach volleyball action that we've seen for weeks here in the SWATCH World Tour. Hardly a mistake being made. Pedro Cunha defending like an absolute machine. Towards Rogers. Here is Todd Rogers. There's the rise. Chance now for Brazil with a counter-attack. Pedro Cunha. And it'll be match point again. Brazil pushing a little heavier on the seesaw this time. Just to swing things once more in their favour. Such disappointment for the United States. Where do they go from here? Timeout, that's where they go. Rogers so annoyed with himself. This has been an absolute wonderful spectacle. The crowd know exactly that. I can tell you it's fairly early doors, but the heat has already been turned up by the players. And then cooling down. That's the way they do it around here. Ricardo vocal. Always asks the best from his teammates. Such a serious competitor. This is one of the best and the most competitive matches he will have been involved in quite a while on the SWATCH World Tour. Remember a first set when he was playing with Marshall against Rogers-Dalhausser last year in Stadio Blanc in Poland about this time of year. 41-39 that one. That was the longest he'd ever had at the first set in the men's game. Here we are, match point. 4th one for Brazil, 28-27 in set 2. Pedro Cunha. Dalhausser, Rogers with wonderful placement. So yet another side change. All the pressure on that roll shot. Placed perhaps in the only part of the court that no Brazilian was going to get to. So a quick check on the sums. 5 set points missed for the USA, 4 match points missed for Brazil. Where do we go from here? Rogers is taken down by Ricardo. Chance for him to hit down the line and bring up yet another chance on match point. This time it'll be Pedro Cunha to serve, or will it? No. Pardon me, it'll be Ricardo. Pedro Cunha will wait in the backcourt. Ricardo will serve and jump off to half a block. Ricardo, they're going to Todd Rogers. It's a good serve. Set well behind the net. Chance here. Ricardo looking back and wanting Pedro Cunha to get to that. That was a big chance for Brazil. It's a good recovery from the United States. They were under pressure right from the serve there. Dalhausser into Cunha. Chance for him to respond. Very wide. There's the block. It's out though. Dalhausser getting there, not making the correct touch. Well, losing count here. I think we're on match point number 6. This is something extremely special. Match of the tournament without doubt so far. We could have another set to come should the United States win it. Have to defend this point though. Cunha, good serve in towards Dalhausser. Pits him up against Ricardo, who blocks out. If we go to a third set, I can tell you that the next match might not start on time, due to start in 20 minutes time. But who cares? This is entertainment of the highest order. Dropped in front of Cunha. He'll now rise, bumped up by Ricardo, down the line. And Cunha has failed on precious little occasions today. All those questions asked about him prior to this partnership forming have been answered in very, very positive fashion so far by the 28-year-old from Rio. Here comes Ricardo. Jump serve from him in towards Rogers. Not posing too many problems on the serve. Cunha's down. Here's the chance. Oh, well, Ricardo must have got a touch on the block. Went over twice. Here is Cunha. Ricardo has to make this. Now here comes the chance for the win. Cunha goes long. Well, you just thought that Brazil might have had it there. Had the chance to counter-attack for the first time in quite a while. Little cry of a touch on the block. You can see there's nothing there on that replay. 31 all now. Dalhausser going inexplicably long. So the crowd, they've been on their feet for quite a while now, ever since the first set point was brought up by the United States. We're on match point again now, though. Cunha. Over on two, it's gone long. Brazil win it. And what a win it is. Absolutely wonderful scenes here in Klagenfurt. 33-31. The USA had 5 chances of winning the set and going to a third and final decider. But in just their second tournament together as a team, Ricardo and Pedro Cunha will play in the final in Klagenfurt. Ricardo last played in the showpiece here in Austria in 2007. He is the fans' favourite at this tournament, and he will be back in the big time yet again. What a win. It took all manner of concentration to get just to the chance of winning. They had several chances to do it. 33-31 is one of the most entertaining sets we have had all year on the SWATCH World Tour. Well, there are the scores on the doors. It was very tight all the way through. Brazil just edged it. Cunha-Ricardo will move on to the final. They'll have a bit of extra time to recover. But boy, will they need it. That second set, a real battle of attrition, with all the quality in there to add to it. And this crowd will get themselves ready for the next match to come, which will be the second semi-final between the second Brazilian team of Bruno and Maciel up against the former world champions, German team of Jonas Reckermann and Julius Brink. It's a job very well done, though, for Pedro Cunha. He's in the final for the first time in a long time. Delighted to be back, and he'll be back among this wonderful atmosphere in Klagenfurt am Wörthsee. And as you can see, the lake full of people who've popped up right next to this court. They're all inside watching this. Thousands and thousands of people ready for the second semi-final that will be coming up in just less than 15 minutes' time. So thanks for joining us this morning. Remember, there is much more to come. We have the second semi, the bronze medal and the gold medal still to come in Klagenfurt until around 13.5 minutes' time. We will see you again for second semi-final. Semi-final number 2 between Brazil and Germany coming up. For now, though, it is goodbye from Klagenfurt.